Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror.
So today we're doing our review on weapons.
I'm not going to give you a synopsis on this one, guys, because I think you should go into this one as blind as you possibly can.
Okay, so we're going to give the positives, the negatives, and we are going to spoil the film. So like he said, we want you to go in blind. So watch the film and then watch our spoilers.
But for now, let's get into the positives.
So some of the positives, there's some really great running sequences. Like I really enjoyed the running.
Oh my gosh, like I ran out of the movie theater like this, and my wife, my son, and his girlfriend didn't think it was as funny as I did.
I laughed. I thought it was funny.
This movie has so many great long shots, like one takes, and from a filmmaking perspective, you're watching it and you're just like, this is amazing. All the different times that they do it, and it looks so damn good.
It's very mysterious and tense. Like you are really trying to figure out what is actually going on, and you're so far from what is really happening.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is tense. When someone is lurking or is able to get caught, that kind of stuff makes me tense up.
Part of the fun of this movie is having no idea what the hell's actually happening. There's a lot of very good jump scares in this movie, and you guys know me. I do not like jump scares. I think they're cheap. I think they're lazy. They were effective in this movie. They were done very well.
Yeah. The cast is really great, phenomenal.
All up and down the lineup here is fucking awesome.
We'll talk more about them all in the spoilers, but yeah, I'm just gonna say that Aunt Gladys is creepy as shit.
Yes. There's genuinely funny moments in this movie. There was at least 5 or 6 times that I was, belly laughing in the theater. And so that's something when you can have a horror movie like this and still make me laugh, it's effective.
And brutal moments, there's moments that you're like, oh shit, really brutal moments.
I think it's amazing that movies like this are still being mainstream now with the brutality that it has. So those are some of our non-spoiler positives. Now we're going to get into the negatives of weapons. All right, now this is a negative for me. There's a line when the superintendent or the principal is talking to our teacher at this moment, and he tells her, listen, you're a teacher, you're not a parent. As somebody that's worked in a school system, it's very hard to not get attached to the kids, and especially the kids that you see that need help. It's very hard not to become a parental figure to them, to try to be a positive role model, or try to brighten up their days. And it really hit home watching that scene where it's like, you know what, she may not be a parent, but she's a great teacher. And this world doesn't have a lot of great teachers. So to see a great teacher that cares about their students as deeply as she did, this is a negative from personal experience, not a negative about the movie, but I wish that she would have been taken more with love for how much she cared about her own students.
Yeah, there's a ton of title cards. Each character gets
introduced with a title card.
Gets their own title card. And I get it. I mean, I guess how else are they gonna, how else are we gonna know that we're following this character now?
By showing them on camera. That was irritating the shit out of me. You see a lot of the same scenes done from different points of view.
Again, because they're introduced all these different characters, so.
It was annoying the shit out of me.
Yeah.
This movie's over 2 hours long. If you cut out some of those scenes, this movie did not need to be 2 hours long. Like I said, if you cut out a lot of these scenes where you're seeing the exact same thing just from a different point of view, and it's not like it reveals more of the story like Saw style. Like you're seeing the exact same scene just from a different point of view. Like that's all it is. And it's like, we didn't have to do this many times, guys. And there's a lot of dream sequences in this movie. And every dream sequence you see is completely predictable. You know it's a dream. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. And if you're going to do a dream sequence and make it effective, there's got to be some type of mystery around it, or you don't know it's a dream. You know they're dreaming. So it takes the effectiveness out of it. So those are some of our negatives for this movie. Now, we are going to spoil things, and these are going to be positives and negatives. Guys, if you haven't seen it, I implore you, go watch Weapons and then come back and watch our spoilers.
All right, guys, so now we are spoiling things. So you probably know if you've seen the trailer, but all the kids in Justine Gandy's class, they went missing, except for one kid named Alex.
Right. And all the kids left the house at 2:17 a.m. Every single kid.
And the entire town blames Mrs. Gandy.
So Mrs. Gandy, Justine, she follows Alex home, even though she's specifically told, stay away from this kid. And she's like, and he's like, that's the problem. It's not about you.
Yeah.
This kid has suffered enough. So please just stay away from him.
And so she ends up going to Alex's house, and she sees the entire house is just like covered, like the windows are all covered by newspapers. And there's like this little peephole, and she looks in, and this is where she sees, this is a good jump scare too, guys. This is where she sees two people just sitting on the couch, just like staring off. And you it's kind of like obscured by a shadow.
Right.
But
you could definitely make out there's two people that are just sitting there.
But like getting caught, like her looking in the window, and then they're just sitting there like staring at her was very creepy.
So we talked about how the dream sequences are very predictable. Justine has a dream that she's in her classroom and all the kids are there with their heads down, but Alex is in the back and he looks up and he has like makeup all over his face in a very creepy scene.
So when Justine goes to like talk to Alex, he pretty much just like screams at her and tells her to stop following him.
Yeah.
She literally followed his bus home from school to figure out where he lived. And he was just like, stop following me.
Yeah. So she stays at the house. Outside, she's in her car, she's drinking. And at nighttime, Alex's, who at this point we believe is his mother, comes out and she's all crazy and she has scissors in her hands. And she comes to the car and she goes right by it. And you're like, oh, okay, she went right by it. Then you hear the back door open and she reaches up and cuts some of her hair off and takes her hair with her. That's a pretty weird thing to do.
It's really weird and creepy. And this sequence is actually like...
The way she walks.
It's funny, but at the same time, like when the door first opens and nobody comes out, like it's like super quiet, and then like the closer she gets to the car, like the score is louder. I thought that was really cool how they did that.
That was very effective.
Yeah. So one of the missing boys' dads is like doing detective work, trying to figure out what happened to his son. When we get Justin Long, he's one of our dads. He asked
very
him,
small role.
Yeah, very small role. He asked him if he can look over his like Ring or whatever camera system they have on their house, if he can look over the footage from that night, because he's trying to figure out which way that the kid went.
But we get Justin Long.
We do.
Even though it's only for a couple seconds, we get Justin Long. That made me very happy. Archer, who is the dad, he confronts Justine at the gas station because, like we said, everybody thinks she did it. She had something to do with the kids.
Especially him. Like he talks up in the meeting. Like he's like, "Why aren't you guys looking at her? It's her classroom." Like he definitely like thinks she has something to do with it.
Right. And then out of the corner of her eye, she looks, and the principal from earlier is running at her, doing that run cycle we were talking about earlier. And his face is all fucked up.
Yeah, and his eyes are like bulging.
Yeah. And like he tackles her and then Archer fights him and it just turns into a huge fight. It's a crazy fight sequence with this crazy dude that just is so ready to take out Justine the whole time.
So Paul, police officer, he actually sleeps with Justine. It sounds like they have some like back history, and he's not really like a great guy. Like he's
married.
Yeah, he's kind of a gross dude, a gross cop, trying to like get like
strange.
Yeah. So anyways,
but what's fucked up about it?
He gets stabbed. Well, he's like checking a junkie. His name is James. We'll go more into detail about James, but he's checking his pockets and he gets stabbed by one of his needles.
A heroin needle.
Yeah. And after that, he goes and sleeps with Justine. And
he's already paranoid that he might have hepatitis or AIDS or something. And remember, he got stabbed by this heroin needle, so hepatitis, AIDS, this is a whole storyline now. Remember that, because it will definitely not come into play later and piss me off. Has nothing to do with the film whatsoever. But James, now we go to his perspective. He breaks into Alex's house because it looks like there's no one there. There's newspapers all over the lawn. There's a bunch of newspapers covering the windows. So it looks like there's nobody in the house.
Yeah.
So he breaks in trying to steal shit. But Alex's parents are there. They look like they're like comatose and like decomposing, like their faces has got a bunch of holes in them. And at this point, you don't know why. You're like, what the fuck is happening? And he turns around and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you guys.
And then,
and
like,
he's
they
like,
don't move.
Yeah, he's like, hello.
And then he goes back to stealing their shit. That was a funny, yeah.
That was pretty funny.
So this is when he like stumbles upon the basement and finds all the missing kids in Alex's basement. So all the missing kids are down in Alex's basement.
Yes. So he's in the woods, James. He's running from the cop again, and we'll get more into that in a minute. And he sees this clown-looking person in the woods, and he jumps in his tent. And he's like, that wasn't real. And then the tent starts to unzip, so he reaches out and he stabs with heroin needles right in the face, and it's Paul again.
Yeah.
And Paul's like, you fucking stabbed me this time?
Yeah, like, you asshole. Like, he asks him, if he has any of these diseases, and he's like,
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But like I said, this storyline and plot goes absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
And they just set it up like he got stabbed by a needle. He sleeps with this woman. Like there's going to be some type of... I thought this was going in the direction of like weapons was like a disease.
Like that's the rage disease.
Yeah,
like,
that's the direction I thought they were going with this.
Yes. Or something.
So I was like, so maybe Zach Kreger did that on purpose.
Maybe.
Like let's throw this plot line in and have it go absolutely nowhere just so it's like a plot line red herring, which is possible. But I was really kind of like, this could have went somewhere, and it absolutely went nowhere throughout the course of the film.
Well, James then tells Paul, like, I know where all those missing kids are, because he wants the $50,000. There's like a reward for it. Yeah. So Paul, he goes into the house.
When they go to the house, James is like, hey, man, how do I know that you're not just going to take the reward money for yourself and leave me hanging?
And he just kind of looks at him like,
looks at him,
goes into
and then
the
leaves,
house.
and he's in the back. As you know, if you've been in the back seat of the cop car, you can't open it from the inside.
You're locked in there, and
he's handcuffed.
He's in the house forever. Like it goes to
from
dark
day to
time.
Night. And it's like, come on, man, where are you?
So then, yeah, that was funny. Even though James, he's like, like addicted to drugs and stuff. Like
that does not make you a bad person.
He's funny. He's a funny guy. But anyway, so Paul, he goes out and he like takes James out of the back car and drags him into the house.
And he almost looks like he's possessed at this point.
With his bulging ass eyes.
So Alex's Aunt Gladys goes to meet with the principal or superintendent on behalf of his sick parents. She's like, look, they're sick. They can't make it in here. And you as the viewer is like, what? Because she looks like she's overly made up.
Her lipstick is like all over her lips. And like, yeah.
She's very obviously wearing a wig.
Yeah.
And you're just like, the fuck is up with this woman? Something's not sitting right here.
Yeah. And so like later on, Aunt Gladys, she shows up at the principal's house and she's like pretty much like making them like I'm thirsty, like, and his husband,
please come in?
Yeah, his husband's like, okay, yes, let her in, like, because the principal really didn't, he was like uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, he was like,
but his husband's like, you're gonna give this old woman some water, and so she actually makes him kill his husband.
You figure out here she's a witch.
Yeah.
She takes out like a stick and wraps stuff around it and stabs herself.
Yeah, and then she puts the blood on the stick, and when
she does that, she can control you.
Yeah, so she puts Justine's hair on this stick, puts her blood on it, snaps it, and this is when the principal goes after Justine. Like that is his only motive.
Because he's under her control.
Yes.
But when he kills his husband, it's brutal.
It is,
He literally, that's why his face is all fucked up when he gets to Justine at the gas station. Because he headbutts the shit out of him and busts his face all the shit.
His face is just gone.
His whole head is just completely gone, and it's fucking awesome. Aunt Gladys has control over Alex's parents as well. And like, this is where she's like, Alex, you can't tell anybody about me. And he's just like not saying anything. So she's like, and she breaks the stick. And his parents start stabbing themselves in the face with forks. Yeah. So that's how they got the holes in their face that you see later on.
And that's how she like makes Alex stay quiet about her, because she
even tells her, she's like, I can make them hurt themselves. I can make them eat each other if I want to. And do you think I want to, Alex? And she's just like a great villain. Like, we love
so good
female villains, and Gladys, my love, you are an amazing female villain.
She nailed it. And just the way she's like overly like excited and like acts like this really like innocent old lady, and then when you get the witch part of her, she does such a great job. I think she's an amazing villain.
She did super fantastic.
So Aunt Gladys, she gets all the kids kidnapped. Like, she asks Alex to take one of the kids' possession in his classroom because she's like really sick. And
she's like, I'm dying, and I thought your parents could help me, but they can't.
And he's like, well, how can I help you? And she's like, if you got, something from all the kids in the classroom, that could really help me. And he's like, how?
Oh, she's like, just get the shit, kid.
Just do it. He's like, if I do that, you'll go back to where you are. And she's like, yes, I will.
So yeah, he has to get a belonging from each one of the kids, and that's what she uses to lure them to the house. So after this, Justine and Archer go to the house, and they see the cop car there, so they're like, what should we do?
Well, he has his map that we were talking, he was doing his detective work, and Justine's like, it all circles, right there's Alex's house.
That's the center of all of it.
Yeah.
So, they go to the house, and Paul waves them in.
Yeah.
And Justine's like, that's Paul, I know him. They go in, and James attacks Archer.
Archer, yeah.
And then Paul attacks Justine because they broke the salt barrier. And kind of gaslightingly, the aunt is like, hey, Alex, don't break the salt barrier. And his parents are right there. So he breaks the salt barrier, and they chase after him too. Yeah. So everybody is like getting attacked at this point because they're all under the spell right here. Well, when they attack each other, Archer finds the kids in the basement. But Aunt Gladys is down there, and
when he goes down there, he he's using his flashlight on all the kids, trying to find his son, and then all of a sudden you just see her face, and
well, because Justine shot and killed James and Paul,
yeah,
and she's heartbroken over this because Paul was about to kill her.
He was choking her out, so she takes his gun and shoots him in the head.
And another funny bit of physical comedy is Archer and James's fight.
Because he won't stay down.
And he just keeps throwing him, punching him.
Keeps throwing him around, and then he'll be like, and then he'll throw him back down,
And every time he's like, God damn, his hand hurts, so he has to start kicking him and then throwing him. That was a really good bit of physical comedy too.
So Alex, he runs from his parents into
they're trying to break in the door
where Aunt Gladys has been staying, and he finds a piece of Aunt Gladys's hair. Well, he takes one of her sticks and gets a piece of her hair and stabs his finger and puts the blood on the stick and then wraps her hair around it.
And it's the same stick that had all the kids' stuff on it.
Yeah, and then he breaks it. And when he does that, the kids just fly out of the basement, and she's like, uh-oh. And she books it. And this
all the neighbors were like,
she's just running through neighbor's house, and the kids are just literally destroying, going through them. Their only mission is to get Aunt Gladys. And when they get to her and they attack her and just tear her apart. Yes, everything. Her limbs are laying in someone's yard. This sequence is so good. I loved it.
So when she dies, Archer, he comes back to normal.
Yeah.
But the kids and Alex's parents, they don't.
I'm assuming it's because they were under her spell for a lot longer.
And she was feeding off them is what I took from it. But some of the kids, we find out the movie ends with a voiceover saying some of the kids even started talking again this year.
Yeah.
And that's where the movie ends. So like I said, there's a lot of problems with this movie. I wish we could have seen how she was feeding on the people, to rejuvenate herself. I wish that the STD plot would have gone a little bit farther. You know, just because we could have at least got the okay that Gladys is going to be okay after all this. Alex went to live with his aunt, who is a nice aunt.
He got a nice aunt. But I'm also confused, because they always, in the beginning when they allowed Aunt Gladys to come into their home, they're like, we haven't seen her, and, I don't know that your mother has ever really even seen her, or even knows who she is. So was it really her aunt?
Right, it could have been just this witch.
Yeah, but she's like, my mother would have done it, so I'm gonna do it.
Right.
And so I was just wondering, was this ever really her aunt?
Sure. And that makes a lot of sense. And like I said, with Zach Kreger, this could go any of which ways. So overall, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. We got to sit on it for a couple hours before doing the review. I'm still sticking with that.
Yeah.
I think this movie's fantastic. And like I said, for every plot hole that it has and every plot point that I didn't like, there's 10 things I did. So is it a perfect movie? No. Was I wildly entertained, scared, and laughing? Absolutely. So 4 out of 5 for me.
I also gave it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, Aunt Gladys as the villain, she was so good. Like, she kept me, every time she was on screen, I was so like, just like drawn to her character. I thought she did amazing. We had a great cast. And it was fun. Like, I found myself giggling a couple of different times. I found myself going, oh shit, you know. So I really did enjoy this movie, and I'm actually really happy that I did, because I was worried.
My expectations were so high, and I wasn't let down.
Yeah.
And I think we both felt that way.
Yeah.
And I want to give a special shout out to Luke Speakman, who played Matthew. You were amazing, young man. When we saw you on screen, we were like, yes! You know, you did fantastic. So very proud of you. Can't wait to see what you do in the future. If you haven't already, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Those links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.